Now, if you ask anyone who's raced here, they'll tell you, nowhere in the world is more important to get a high qualifying position than here on the windy, chicaney, challenging streets of Monaco. We're about to set the grid for tomorrow's race, but potentially for the end of the race too. So welcome along, everyone, to the Monaco Grand Prix qualifying. It's Monte Carlo with history, glamour, and a uniquely tight and claustrophobic challenge. One that over the course of a lap sees us tour an entire country. Welcome along to the Monaco Grand Prix. The astonishing Circuit de Monaco is, for all intents and purposes, virtually unchanged since its inaugural race back in 1929. The faster cars of today ensure the 19 corners past the casino and along the seafront remain as thrilling as ever. A 2.1-mile lap here takes us around an entire country, yet never more than inches from the race-ending barriers. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. What a qualifying yesterday for George Russell. He'll start today's race from pole position. And it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Fernando Alonso, Leclerc, Max Verstappen, and Norris, Albon, Hülkenberg, Piastri, and Andrea Kimi Antonelli, Bortoleto, Hadjar, Liam Lawson, and Sainz, Behrman, Tsunoda, Pierre Gasly, and Esteban Ocon. Stroll and Franco Colapinto rounds off the grid. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? And alongside me today, former Formula One driver and former world champion too. See, told you I'll give you a big intro. Anthony Davidson, hello. Now, I'll be generous here. It's not that long ago that you were racing and entertaining us on a Sunday. But in the years since, the sport has changed quite a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has, Crofty. You know, the cars have got bigger, they're heavier. But critically, there's more downforce to play with as well now. There was around 4 tons of downforce on the car at 300 kilometers an hour when I drove. You're now looking more towards 5 tons of downforce. So there's a big difference in performance. But because of that, the car being heavier and bigger, you've got to drive in a smoother way. You've got to look after it a bit more. You've got to nurse it through the slow speed corners more. They were much more nimble, agile machines when I drove in Formula 1 compared to now.
Okay, mate, radio check, please, radio check.
Radio check.
afraid you've been given a time penalty for that last incident, mate. Okay, mate, we might need to look at a new race strategy after that. I've got some options for you, so go and check your MFD.
this one on.
And the best of British and the best on the track. It's George Russell who wins.
They led from lights out to the flag at the end, and their race victory was never in doubt, was it? Brilliant stuff by them.
It's time for our podium celebrations. And as ever in Formula One, 3 is the magic number. And taking his place on the top step of the podium, he gave it some hustle. Well done to George Russell.